I'm Chris Hartwell, and I just did something that I have pretty much my entire life been working towards. That being, I made a feature film. But while indeed I cannot wait to break this project down for you guys, talking about the writing, talking about the directing, how I was able to raise the funds to make the film, before I do that, I feel like I need to hit pause on some of those more technical and potentially more interesting aspects of the filmmaking process and talk about something that's just a little bit more existential. Because I did it, right? I made the feature film, the dream that so many of us as filmmakers have. And indeed, I am proud and so very thankful that I've been able to do this. But I would definitely be lying if I didn't say that I really wish I could have gotten to this place a whole lot sooner. And I should also say I wasn't a late bloomer when it comes to realizing what it was I wanted to do with my life. It was around the right age of 7 that I watched the original Star Wars trilogy and was immediately that. Whatever that is, I want to do that. And so before getting into all the details, I figured it would be really helpful to just take a second to talk about that 30-year-long journey and how it was that I continued to move forwards, putting one foot in front of the other, because it may indeed be something that you right now are wrestling with, asking yourself, is it ever going to happen? Is it too late? Am I destined to simply make little short films and no-budget YouTube videos, or will I ever achieve that, glorious title of being a feature film director? Cut. Great. So, a few thoughts on why it is absolutely worth continuing to move forwards, continuing to pursue your dream, even while it may seem like that dream will never come. Reason number 1, if you remain open, if you remain engaged, if you remain humble and grow in those ways on a daily basis, the older you get, you're like a fine wine. The richer you become, the more you have to say. Don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with being young and being successful at a young age. I am a runner, and I frequently look down at my knees and say, why can't you be like you were when I was 20 years old? I miss that. But I would be lying if I didn't say that really is one of the very few things that I miss about being younger. Now, not all of us are going to be like fine wines. The older we get, the more sophisticated and humble and mature we become. Some of us will become sour wines. This does, again, require discipline and diligence. But here's the point. Just because you are no longer in your 20s, or even in your 30s, or even in your 40s, or onwards, does not mean that you have less to contribute as a storyteller. In fact, I would contend you may in fact have that much more to contribute as a storyteller. Now, I'm not saying that I've written something as deep and profound as Martin Scorsese's Silence or The Irishman, but I can say that the film I've made right now is so much deeper and more mature and richer because I didn't make it 16 years ago. I made it now, and it bears the marks of someone who's lived 36 years worth of life. This sounds quippy and this sounds trite, but please believe me when I say that it's true. The journey is your story, and the more of a journey you've had, the more story you have to tell. This next reason why you should not give up on your artistic dreams and continue wholeheartedly pursuing your passion in this field is a tough one, but it's so important in order for you to keep going and to do so in a healthy way. That being, you are not your artistic successes or your artistic failures. I know it can be so easy to hang all of yourself on your creations because you pour yourself into them, and they are, in a sense, representative of parts of you, but you are not. You are not your artistic successes nor your artistic failures. And so don't feel as if every second, every minute, every hour, every month, every year, every decade that goes by and you don't make something brilliant or you don't make anything at all, that you are less you. I can tell you right now that this video is a prime example of me having to listen to that voice, that truth that I am not what I create. There were so many reasons why I put off making this video. Hold on, I want to get a haircut to make sure my hair looks nice. Oh wait, there's a buzzing light in my office. I got to get that thing fixed before I can actually start this video. All of these silly, ridiculous reasons that I've put this thing off, really because I was hanging too much importance on this video? What if this video only gets a couple of likes? What if this video only gets a couple of views? Am I a failure of an artist if this thing doesn't land, if it doesn't hit? I'm not. I'm gonna make this thing. I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm enjoying this right now, and I don't want to rob myself of that enjoyment, believing that if this thing, and only if this thing succeeds, will I be all that Chris Hartwell ought to be. My identity is secure, my identity is safe, whether this video lands and hits, or whether it does not. Which leads me to another couple of quick pieces of advice. You're 36, you're 37, you're 40, you're 50, and you continue to, at those parties, tell people, I've got this great idea for a screenplay. I've got this great idea for a YouTube channel. Why have you not started doing it yet? Why haven't you made that dream project? And yes, there are indeed 1,000,001 very legitimate reasons that hold you back from doing that thing that you so desperately want to do. Money, time, resources, connections, you name it. But here's the thing. I think a lot of us like the idea of being a filmmaker more than filmmaking. I think a lot of us like the idea of being a filmmaker more than filmmaking. We like thinking about it, we like watching YouTube videos, but actually putting fingers to keys and writing the script, actually getting behind a camera and shooting something, actually stepping out in front of that camera and working with the actors, there's a lot of excuses we can have to keep us from actually doing that thing. Is this any good? Sure. Oh no, it just seems so good to not have that in my mind and just be we're just making a thing. The last thing I will say, and the last challenge I will give to you, and the last challenge that I will give to myself, is that dream project, no matter how much time, no matter how much effort you put into it, will in some way not ever live up to the perfect version of that dream project in your mind. And I think oftentimes that is the main reason why we don't begin to pursue it. The more you build it up, the more you hype it, the greater the fear is that you might not make that thing in the way that you want it to be. It might not come out the way that you want it to come out. And that can be terrifying and crippling. So take the pressure off. Just recognize your first steps into a field like this are gonna be shaky. They're gonna be wobbly. They're not gonna be pretty. We can't all be Orson Welles, and our first feature film can't always be Citizen Kane. Don't expect it to be. Just make something. And I know this is the often said mantra from many filmmakers out there, but maybe it's often said because it's true. Start making something now. Don't wait for the buzzing light to stop. Just make it. Make the imperfect version of something right now. And in putting one foot in front of the other, you will discover something. You will discover something. That life is not found once you've made the dream project. Life is not found once you've gotten through the monotony of these less important projects. It's found right now. Your life is happening right now. So live it. Enjoy being an artist in the small ways, in making little videos like this, and plugging in a microphone, and setting up the production design behind you. Enjoy those little tiny steps, because this is life. Not after I've finished shooting this video, not after I've finished editing it, not until I've read your comments and then moved on to the bigger and better project. Life is happening right now, so enjoy it. Don't think that life is gonna happen once you've made the dream project and beyond. Again, I've made my first feature film, and I am so proud and so thankful that I have gotten to that place. Thank you so much. But I don't know if I'm ever going to get to do that again, which is a lot of the reason why I'm here right now, back on YouTube, trying to enjoy life and enjoy the process. I'm going to make little things, little bite-sized pieces of storytelling, and share them with you guys, because at the end of the day, that is what I love, telling stories and engaging with an audience. And I don't need to make feature films to do that. Gosh, I hope I get to make more feature films, and I love that medium and I love communicating on that scale, but that's not the only way to communicate. That's not the only way to tell stories. And so I'm here to do that. Thanks so much for your time, guys. Excited for this journey, excited for the next steps, and look forward to sharing a lot more about the feature film that I made. Until then, though, have a good one. Cheers.